We're gonna go through hip extension, Pails rails in half kneeling position. The setup is your half kneeling position. We're gonna focus in on the hip that is down and back for our first set. To feel the stretch, you're gonna sit tall and you wanna lean or bring the pelvis forward so you feel a stretch through the front side of the hip or the quad. You wanna make sure that your core is neutral or your spine is neutral and hold that position. We are going to do our full 2-minute passive hold, so just get into the stretch, feel it, try and calm the breathing, in on a 4 count, out on an 8 count, really bring that nervous system down to get it ready for what we're about to do to it. When it comes to our Pails contraction, for now I just want you to stretch. When it comes to our Pails contraction, we're going to squeeze everything on the front side of this hip. When it comes to our rails contraction, we're going to squeeze the glute and the hamstring to try and pull the knee back. We will go through it with you, but just so you have a little bit of an idea of what's going on. You want to look to feel that stretch on a very nice level. I don't want you to jam yourself so far forward that you actually cause yourself to be like in a painful stretch. Another thing to be mindful of is your low back. You want to make sure that your belly button's not jamming forward. You want to keep it, that low back, pretty just neutral and in a comfortable position so that your hip, you can really feel the stretch of that hip flexor. Meg, you feel that stretch?
Yeah.
Perfect. If at any point you feel that you need balance, you can find an object to hold on to, a dowel maybe, a chair, something that you might need. I also recommend that you grab a pad for your knee just to be a little bit more helpful. Our 2 minutes is up, so we're gonna do our Pails rail set now. So just to recap real quick, she's gonna take a breath in, squeeze her core, drive tension through the body. She's going to start to try and pull that knee forward by squeezing her quad, her hip flexor, and her core. So Meg, go ahead and start to pull forward. You're going to start at 20% of your intensity. Using your whole body, you're going to work up to 40%. 60%, 80%, greatest, safest effort and hold. So she's squeezing every muscle in her body as hard as her can to try and pull that knee forward for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. When I get down to 1, she's going to stay where she's at. She's going to try and reverse. So 2, 1, she's going to try to reverse. She's going to squeeze her hamstring and her glute to try and actually push that knee backwards. She doesn't want to move through the spine. You actually want to stay exactly where you are. Just try and drive that back by squeezing that hamstring and that glute as hard as you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly relax back down. In between our first and second set, we are going to wait 30 seconds before we go again. If sometimes between your first and second set, you actually gain access to a little bit more range of motion. So what you can do is move forward till you feel a little that stretch again. It's just going to increase that hip extension and train your tissue even more, giving you more hip extension. So, second set. Big breath in, squeeze the core, let the tension spill through the body. She's going to start to pull that knee forward by squeezing the hip flexor and the quad to try and drag that knee. She actually wants to focus all her intensity here to try and pull that knee. Entire body will increase 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, taking it to your safest, greatest effort and hold. You want to squeeze everything, trying to pull that knee forward. Squeeze out a little bit more. Make sure every muscle in your body is flexed. Generate that tension to the hip. 5, 4, 3, stay locked in. Don't move. 2, 1, reverse. You're going to squeeze your hamstring and your glute to try and drive that knee back. You want to think about trying to push your femur further backwards by squeezing these muscles back here. Again, still having that intensity. You don't want to compensate through the spine. We want to stay locked in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly ramp back down. That was hip extension, Pails rails in half kneeling position.